Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ohayocon 2019 Retrospective. Basically, I just want to take the time and talk about my convention experiences because, it's good to look back at this stuff, and I might look back at this like 10, 15 years from now and have those nostalgic tears. And also it's just fun to discuss some of the cool stuff you can potentially see at a convention. So if there are people who are like, man, I've never been to a convention before, what will I see? I'm changing the format slightly here and dividing things up into 3 different categories. The first is the day-by-day schedule. Basically, some of the major things that I accomplished throughout the 3-day weekend. Next up is going to be conventional treasures. Basically, what cool stuff did I get at this convention? The physical things. And then finally, back here to the couch for personal revelations, which are going to just cover, the big things that I personally realized. They're not physical, like, oh, hey, I got this cool prop or this nice item. It's just like, upon review, what do I want to do in the future? For myself, for my cosplay, for my con going, etc. So, let's get things started with the day-by-day breakdown. So first off, Friday, I got there about 11:30 or so. Basically, just in time to arrive at the Doctor Who photo shoot. I was a bit late, so I couldn't change into my second Doctor cosplay, but there were a fair amount of Doctors. A fair amount of Doctor Who cosplayers. We had a couple of TARDISes, we had a couple of Doctors, basically the modern, 10, 11 modern, and then I think Saturday for the Doctor Who shoot we had the 7th Doctor, the 9th, and then, just a few of the same from Friday. And basically, I had a lot of fun there. I got to meet up with some new people. I got to meet up with a photographer that I've worked with on other Doctor Who shoots in the past, and finally we became friends on Facebook, which is cool because now I can actually communicate with this person, and maybe they'll actually remember me at the next convention that we run into each other at, which is probably going to be next Ohayocon. Maybe ClassicCon or MatsuriCon, I don't know yet. But that was cool. What else did I do? Sorry, I'm going to look off to the side because it's just a lot to remember this stuff, and I'm just having a crazy day. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah. Second up was the Pokemon shoot, where I did get to change into Brock. And of course, as always, Geodude was like the star of my cosplay. There were plenty of other most awesome, excellent, amazing cosplayers that I saw there. Between the 2 shoots, we had Team Skull, which is always, big and boisterous and just attention-grabbing, which was awesome. We also had some, samurai armor Pokemon, Gyarados. Other Pokemon that I don't know, because I'm pretty much stuck in Gen 1 and maybe a bit of, it's either Gen 2 or 3, wherever Torchic and, the other 2 come into play. Again, I'm sorry for that, but I just didn't have handhelds to play the games. That's my excuse. Let's see, moving on from there. I got to the Completionist / Beard Bros autograph session on Friday. Basically, that was one of the big things that came for, was the Beard Bros. Gerard Khalil and Alex Faciani. And it was very cool. It was right after the Pokemon shoot. I was lucky to get in because, throughout the weekend I tried to make some other autograph sessions, which I'll go into in a bit more later, but I couldn't make it because they were cut off because the other people were so popular. Trust me. You wouldn't believe how insanely popular some of these people are. But, yeah. So I got that. I believe I just set it down. Actually, yes, over there. My apologies. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. Basically, the remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, of the Crash Bandicoot games from the PS1 era. They recently just completed that on the Beard Bros, so I brought that because of that. Also, also personal nostalgia, and that's the only Beard Bros related thing that I could think of to bring for them to sign. Now, of course, they record things well in advance, so they've probably been done with the game for about a month, and the videos were just getting uploaded like, leading up to Ohayocon, but still, like, it was cool, and I appreciated that. And I want to say really quick, you know, I love Gerard, I love Alex, like, for real, if you watch Beard Bros, they are the same people as they are in the show. Like, you know, they're just very chill, laid-back dudes who, you know, crack some nice, you know, nice little jokes and just have fun and are very pleasant to be around and just, yes. So, if you're into gaming, you know, and you watch YouTube a fair amount, you know, check out the Beard Bros. They're awesome, they're excellent, I love them, and hopefully, well, I wouldn't mind meeting them again one day. That'd be cool. Just saying. You know, and Gerard, hey, if you're looking for random guy from Ohio to help out with, you know, like Beard Bros and completionist stuff, hit me up. You know, I wouldn't mind, I would not pass up the opportunity. You know, or if you just need a random guest star for stuff, you know, I might be able to find my way to LA, maybe, potentially. You know, I'm very, very busy, however, so not guaranteeing anything. But moving on. God, sorry. Oh yeah, one of my buddies, Alex, hosted a Resident Evil panel, basically covering all of the games, and not just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, there's side stuff like Resident Evil Gaiden, Dead Aim, Survivor, Outbreak, Code Veronica. It's crazy, and basically, you know, it's just a fun look back at some of the ridiculous, crazy stuff that happens within those games. You know, Alex, I've never been to your panels before, and I think they're awesome. I think this was awesome. Sorry. And, you know, you should definitely, you know, keep pressing forward with this. You know, you can do some more stuff. We can have some more fun with it, I think. And just overall, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. You know, and also really quick, I don't want to say, like, Alex and I are, like, awesome friends, because basically I know him through my buddy Logan, and I've met him, like, in person now twice, with the second time being that at the panel thing. But just saying, I think you did great. Keep it up. All that. Oh, yeah. And then, Quap Watch. Basically, this is another interesting panel that I hit with my buddy Mike. Basically, after a certain point in the evening, I was just wandering around with my buddy Mike, also known as Creature. He's interesting. And also, he's really good at playing the guitar. Like, if you go to Ohayocon, you may see him walking around the artists area, basically getting people to sign, you know, draw doodles or whatever on his guitar. He's an interesting character, and I really like him, and, you know, it's cool getting to hang out with you, dude. I really appreciate it, Mike. You're a cool guy. Strange, honestly, in my opinion, but, you know, you're good. You know, and whenever you move to PA, man, you know, I wish you the best. Just in case I don't see you before then, because I know schedules and stuff are crazy. But anyway, we went to Quap Watch, which is basically just a panel, you know, lampooning, you know, like anime and video game movie adaptations. This year was Ghost in the Shell, and yeah, basically, you know, it's just poking fun, like, kind of like riff tracks and Mystery Science Theater, but just like, you know, talking about the movie and then just, you know, working in clips as you go. So, I don't know. It was fun, interesting, worth a look. And then I believe that wraps up Friday, going into Saturday. And you know what? I'm just going to put my glass so I can read this stuff easier. I went to an ADR directing panel with my buddy Ryan, which featured Jerry Jewell, Mike McFarlane, and Jeremy Einman. Jeremy voiced Android 16 in Dragon Ball Z. Mike McFarlane has done Buggy and One Piece. And I'm not as familiar with Mr. Jewell, unfortunately. But basically, you know what? Because Ryan was very interested to see it. And, you know, like, these are some cool big name players, you know, in the, you know, in, within Funimation, I hope. And basically, like, you know, it's just interesting to learn about the stuff, and it was a cool Q&A thing. They're very nice guys. I really enjoyed seeing them up on stage and talking about all the stuff, and it was definitely worth it. And then, also on Saturday, I attended the Extremely Goofy panel. This year, two of the big guests for the convention were Bill Farmer, I forget his name, who voices Goofy, and who has done Goofy for the past 32 years. So yes, I'm talking Goof Troop. I'm talking a Goofy movie. I'm talking an extremely Goofy movie. I'm talking just everything Goofy related for my entire lifetime. He's been Goofy. And honestly, he does the voice so well still to this day, and like he does so many other fun, interesting impressions. It was great. As well as Jason Marsden, who voiced Max in a Goofy movie, and who's also done other work. I know he appeared a lot on Boy Meets World as Eric's buddy. He voiced Zachary Binks as a cat from Hocus Pocus, and just among other things. And he's a very cool guy, and like just like it's cool having these voice actors come to conventions, and then you get to see them. You get to the autograph session, or you get to the panel that they're in, and they're just very cool, very sweet individuals. Like I love that. That was a treat. Unfortunately, these were the two that I did not get to get an autograph from because, the line cut off. Because I showed up to those things late. And really quick, like my buddy Ryan showed up, I think it was a half an hour or 45 minutes early for Aaron Dicemuke. I'm going to put his name below. The guy who did, sorry to just pigeonhole you with this, but Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist. I want to say it was the original series. I forget. But basically, like, you show up 45 minutes early, to get in line for the autograph session. Sorry, it's already full. It's like, are you kidding me? And, like, that's one of the things with autograph sessions. Like, you got to get there early if you want to get in for sure with certain, guests. And yeah, so that was just crazy. And then finally, moving on to Sunday. Sunday I really liked. First off, I started with the completionist panel, which ended up just being a Q&A. Basically, the show is going through some changes, and Gerard didn't have anything like concrete to really show us, like, oh hey, here's the new opening, or oh hey, here's like the tentative schedule for the year. He was just like, I don't have much, and I'm sorry for that, but yeah, we can have a nice fun Q&A, and like, all the people in the room were like, hey, fine, cool, like, let's do this. And, we had a lot of fun asking questions. And yes, I said we, because I got to ask a question as well. A lot of people were asking, like, a lot of, like, harder core two-part questions, like, what's your favorite, genre of games, and, like, what's the hardest game you've completed, what's the easiest, just, like, some heavy stuff. So, like me, somewhere in the middle of the thing, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a cool guy, and I'm going to ask him a softball question. Raise my hand. I do get called on, actually, surprisingly, somehow. And, I ask, hey, Gerard, like, what is your favorite completion bonus? And Gerard, like, laughed. He was just like, man, I get this question all the time. And then he was like, I don't honestly know. Like, it's hard to really pin down. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And, like, honestly, mine was probably the question that got the shortest, quickest answer, because it was just so simple. And, like, it's fine. I don't mind it. Like, the fact that I got called upon, and I got to converse with him at the autograph session was awesome. But just, like, oh, I was hoping for, like, oh, man, I like New Game Plus, or, like, like, whenever you get, some of the ridiculous weapons, like Dead Space, or Dead Space 2, I forget, where you get the foam finger, and he makes the noise, pew, 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 bang, bang, bang. Just, like, something ridiculous. So, if I ever see you again, Gerard, I'm going to ask a different question. Basically, if you made a game, what would your completion bonus be? Like, hey, you completed the game, you got all this cool stuff, what are you going to offer the player? So, yeah. Sorry to turn my softball question into a hardball question, but dude, I was the quickest answer. And you didn't have an answer, and I feel bad, and I'm sorry. Like, that's on me too, man. It's okay, but just, alright, just really quick, just to finish up. Oh yeah, and also, really quick, one of the big things that I liked from Gerard's panel was, talking about getting into YouTubing and stuff like that. He noted Andre, the Black Nerd's advice of, if you're going into YouTube to get famous, to get rich, you know, you're on the wrong path. Like, if you want to get rich, go rob a bank. If you're on YouTube, you know, you're not guaranteed to get rich. And Gerard talked about his career, like, before the Completionist, before Beard Bros. Like, he did some stuff with his buddies in film school, and just, you know, things didn't pan out. Like, they didn't find that big hit that just launched their careers. Like, they had to work toward it, and they had, you know, some difficulties after Gerard had gotten established as the Completionist. You know, like, making deals with, you know, bigger studios and such like that. But the big thing that I liked that really stuck with me, you know, that Gerard said was, and I'm summarizing here because I can't quote exactly, you know, if you get into YouTube, you know, like, getting into YouTube, find your community and figure out what you can bring to the community. Like, Gerard's thing with the Completionist was, there was no one out there crazy enough to complete a game per week. You know, and he did that. You know, he's played, you know, the Crash Bandicoot games. He's played Brave Fencer from Musashi. He's played Resident Evil. He's played just so many different games. And he completed them 100%. That was what he brought to the table. And, you know, also, if you're a reviewer, you know, it's okay to do things positively. You know, I'm not saying, like, oh, hey, like, give every game 100% grade A star plus rating. You know, he was saying, like, you can note things, you know, in bad games, but, like, just don't be a jerk about it. You know, like, do it constructively. You know, there are good things in some bad games, and hey, that's fine. You know, and it's, you know, people respond a bit more to, I'm being positive, like, I'm looking for things, I'm trying. You know, rather than, oh, hey, I'm just going to take a dump on this game. And I really appreciate those two things. You know, be positive, and, you know, if you're entering YouTube, think about what you bring to the community. My thing that I'm trying to do is, you know, character investigations. I have the idea, now I just have to expand on it. You know, like, I have to make it more engaging, and that's what I hope to do over the next year. Sorry, and then, really quick, the final thing that I did for Sunday was I went to the artist table and I got a couple of autographs and a couple cool prints that I will talk about in a minute in my Ohayocon Treasures section, which will be over to the side on the wall because I've got some bigger stuff that's harder to see that I don't want to try and get in the shot here. So, yeah. So, honestly, overall, Ohayocon 2019 was a very big success for me. It was fun, it was interesting, it was amazing. You know, I got to spend time with, you know, Ryan and some of my other One Piece Ohayocon friends. I got to hang out with Mike, who I don't get to hang out with, you know, as often because I'd definitely say we're in different, like, worlds. Like, you know, and that's not a bad thing, but just, like, I don't know, it was cool. But now that I've got all the memories and my day-to-day out of the way, let's talk about the cool stuff I got at the convention. So, I'm going to transition over to the wall to talk about the conventional treasures. Hey everyone, and welcome to what I'm going to call the conventional treasures. Basically, you know, these are just the actual physical things that I got at the con. And I can take a minute or so longer to explain, you know, why they're significant to me, or just interesting, or I picked them up. Well, to start, the obvious would be the badge from the convention, along with these nice little side ribbons that you can see on the side here. The one on the bottom is for the 21 Plus mixer, and the other one is for Tsukiyama-sama Studios, art and photography. Basically, the theme of this year was Camp Ohio, and they were handing out ribbons at certain events, certain panels, certain etc. And basically, I got a couple. I know there were a lot more. Like one of the cosplayers at the Doctor Who shoot had like 10 or 20 all put together. It was crazy, and you know, I just wish I could have gotten 3 because like some people had them long down like this, other people had, you know, one here, one here, one here, and just like kind of built out, and that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't have enough ribbons, unfortunately. So, you know, I really like that. I guess at some other conventions they do this kind of thing, like, oh hey, here's a ribbon for like, you know, different things. So I appreciated that. Next up on my list of cool stuff that I picked up this Brooke wall scroll. You can't see Brooke as clearly right here, so you know, I'll take a quick picture of it unfurled and I will put it up right about here. Okay, but basically, if you didn't know or are new to the channel, I'm a very big fan of One Piece, and I'm a very big fan of the character of Brooke. And seeing a single character wall scroll piece for Brooke, I said, yeah, I should get that, and I did. There were a couple of other wall scrolls that I saw that I was interested in that I didn't end up getting. One was for Soul Eater, and another one was for actually Sanji, another One Piece character that I cosplay as. I don't know what happened with me not getting those. It's just whatever. And it's not like, oh no, like I'm gonna like just jump off a bridge because I didn't do that. But, you know, I saw some cool wall scrolls. I got this one at least because I wanted it so badly because Brooke, it just works for me. Okay, let's just leave it at that. And then we have this interesting odd choice. As you may have noticed, this is like a long bow staff, dark black. It was $50 at one of the sword vendors on the side wall of the vendor's hall. Honestly, you know, look, I'd passed this several times throughout the weekend, and I went back one final time with my buddy Ryan on Sunday, and I was like, okay, you know what, I have to get this. You know, and basically, you know, I will just justify it with, it kind of works with my, you know, quote-unquote steampunk-ish character that I'm wearing the outfit for currently. And I'll talk about the steampunk outfit and stuff in a minute. But, yeah, like, this just felt like a cool little thing that I could use as a prop with the character. And also, I've just been into, like, stick fighting and stabs, like, for a long time in my nerdy career. Like, for those of you who played games on the PS1, you may know of a game called Suikoden. I'll put the name and spelling and all that underneath here, but yeah. I think that was the game that really inspired it. Also, you know, the whole hacking and slashing with swords and axes is, like, a bit concerning to me, so, like, I preferred stabs. And also, like, it's just cool and fun. And also, tying into later in my nerdy career, the Wheel of Time series. For those of you who have read that. One of the main three characters, Matt Cowthan, wields, you know, a black-shafted spear called the Ashandri, which is essentially like a naginata. Basically a long spear with like a short sword blade on the end. That's all black, has ravens on it, and has some strange script on the side. I forget what it says. But basically this is just a parallel to that. Like a couple of years back when I got the wide-brimmed hat. It was because of Matt. And yeah, so now I have something to add to my, you know, quote-unquote steampunk, or just Brad, the character investigator, OC. And finally, probably the biggest thing for me this weekend were the autographs that I got. This is from the Beard Brothers, the Super Beard Bros, the autographs, as well as, you know, a quick print of the thumbnail for the Earthbound series. I'm going to look back into this, and I'm going to put down, like, the artist's name so we have it for reference. But, you know, I got that because I really like the Beard Bros. I got a selfie with them, which actually I need to work that in as well, so poof. And just, like, it was cool. Because, basically, they had a deal going where they were selling the larger print, which I will show you in a moment, as well as one of the smaller print. They had, like, 4 or 5 different things. This, and the Gungeon. Oh, God, I can't think of what else they had. But, like, this was just the one that appealed to me. As well as this print, which I believe is called My Neighbor Fasciani, which is basically, you know, a play on the My Neighbor Totoro. You've got Gerard, you've got Alex, and I believe that is going to be Wallace over on Gerard's shoulder. Again, quick zoom in, zoom out. Yes, I'm working on my technical skills by pushing things toward and away from the camera for zoom ins and zoom outs. And yeah, so those were the cool physical things that I got from the convention, because, you know, I really like the Beard Bros, so I wanted to get those autographs. I got the selfie with them, which honestly just really made my weekend, because some of my other friends had seen the Beard Bros as well and gotten selfies with them. And basically, um, basically, you know, I'm checking my news feed like at the end of my Facebook at the end of the night, and I'm saying, hey, I got an autograph with Gerard and Alex, and I got a selfie with them. I'm like, crap, I forgot to do that at the autograph session on Friday. Basically, by the time I got up there, Alex had gone to the restroom really quick because he needed to relieve himself, and you know, basically, I just felt kind of rushed to like get through. Like, I didn't want to hold up the autograph session because I was like somewhere in the middle, basically. So I didn't get the chance. But Gerard and Alex were cool enough to, you know, be at their at the artist vendors table who did the prints, you know, to, you know, sign autographs, take selfies, and all that stuff. And it was just, I'm glad I got it. Like, Gerard, I've looked up to for some time, like as a YouTuber, because, you know, he started out small, like I am still. Basically, you know, shooting his stuff in his room, doing the editing and all the hard work himself, and just, it's grown into something bigger. And I really like that. And now that I've got, you know, all of the physical takeaways that I've got from this convention, you know, I want to go back to the couch one more time because, you know, I have some more personal takeaways. You know, we'll call them conventional revelations or something like that. So give me a moment and we'll get back to the couch. Hey everyone, and welcome to the conventional takeaways. Basically, I just want to go over some of my personal thoughts and revelations from the weekend. And I realize this has gone on long, so we're going to try and make this quick. The first thing I want to talk about is my Brock cosplay. Basically, I've been doing the same thing for like the past 3 to 4 years. I forget how long I've been doing Brock. And now, I'm saying to myself, I have to figure out what I'm going to do with Brock. Basically, I either should do more with the character, like make it more appearing like Brock, like getting definitely more of a tan than I currently have. Figuring out something for like how he had his eyes shut the whole time, without being racially insensitive. And also my hair. He had brown spiky hair, I've got brown curly hair. Or darker brown, whatever. And, you know, like, I'm basically just trying to decide myself, like, should I keep doing Brock because people aren't going to recognize Gen 1 as much, besides Ash. Like, I saw a couple of Misties at the con, that's cool, and I saw Ash at the photo shoot, and we had some other gym leaders too, oddly enough, like Lieutenant Surge, Blaine, the fire guy. Like, we had some other human characters, and that was cool. We had Team Skull, and just like, I have to decide for myself, do I want to keep being Brock and make improvements to the character, or do I want to move on to something else? And, you know, like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The things I'm considering besides Brock are Blaziken, because I've talked about that in the past, and I have the flaming leg warmers that I use for my Sanji cosplay, which I didn't use as much this year. As well as Poliwhirl, because it is a Poliwhirl or Poliwrath, I forget. But basically, it's a fighting water type, because I like fighting type Pokemon, and I like water types because the kidney stone thing that I've been talking about for the past 3 years. So, you know, I might put up a poll or something on the Facebook page and ask, like, hey, what are your thoughts? Should I keep being Brock and make improvements, or should I move on to something else? I don't know. I mean, I don't mind either way, but, yeah. So anyway, moving on. Oh, great. You know, I made another big decision in relation to cosplay. I think I'm going to be taking a step back as a cosplayer. Basically, you know, growing older, becoming more of an adult means that I don't have as much time to work on, you know, crazy costumes like, you know, samurai armor as a Pokemon, or the Soul King Brook that I actually do. You know, so I think I might be stepping back more towards being a cosplay photographer, and a casual cosplay photographer. And what I mean by that is basically that, you know, I know there are people out there who really love their cosplays and they want to get pictures of them. But, you know, you talk to bigger cosplay photographers, you know, they're going to be like, okay, like, I don't know the going rates, but basically, like, hey, you give me some cash, you know, work out a time and we can just, we can do all this stuff, and I have all this lighting and photo editing software, so it looks really cool and really nice. What I'm doing is more for, like, the casual cosplayers. Like, hey, man, I really love how I put together my Pokemon cosplay or Yu Yu Hakusho or something, and I want to get some cool pictures, because I, too, have those moments of, man, like, I feel like I look so cool, and, well, okay, I don't feel like I look so cool and good, but I can appreciate the feeling of, I look so cool and good, I want to get some cool pictures and, like, do some cool poses. But whenever I'm hanging out with a bunch of other cosplayers, it's like, yeah, hey, Sanji, you mind getting some pictures for me while I do some cool poses? It's a bit more challenging. And yeah, so I think I'm going to be taking a step back. I am still the cosplay enthusiast because I'm, taking the pictures. And I'll be doing the cosplays for the photo shoots, but definitely, like outside of the shoots, I'll probably be something different, something more like what I'm wearing currently, and I think I talk about that in my next point. Let's see. Shite. Sorry. I know this is very unprofessional. I'm just having a crazy day. Right. It was. In relation to cosplay as well, I had 4 cosplays for this weekend. I had the second Doctor, I had Brock of Pokemon, I had Sulking Brook, and I had Sanji. And then I had this 5th outfit that I'm currently wearing. And I talked about a bit over on the wall. Basically, I went through all of them except for Sanji. Basically, it was like Friday night, I want to say? Yeah, it had to be Friday. I'd come back to my room after Pokemon or something, and I was like, okay, I'm going to change into Sanji and walk around, because I have some casual, let's walk the con cosplays. And, like, I started to put on my stuff for Sanji, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to be Sanji. Like, I like the character, I do. He's probably my favorite Straw Hat because he's shown himself to be the most clever and just crazy. Well, not crazy, but definitely very clever and very good at his job. Not just as a cook, but as, a fighter and protector. And, I looked back through my bag, I found my red shirt, my coat, and my dragon, who is named Valerian, by the way, and is a very good noodle. And I put that stuff on, and, I looked in the mirror, and I took a picture, and I'll share that really quick. And I said to myself, I like this outfit. And, like, this is definitely the Brad going to a cosplay, an anime convention outfit. So I think outside of photo shoots, unless I feel like walking around as Brock or I have something going on afterwards, a lot of the time outside of shoots, I will probably be wearing something like this. Minus the glasses, because I can wear contacts. I just didn't for this because I'm doing this on a Tuesday when I didn't work. Or Wednesday, I forget what day it is. But anyway. So yeah. And again, kind of a step back in relation to cosplay, but hey. It's me growing up a bit and saying, hey, there are other cosplayers, and I want to help them grow and encourage them to do better. I've already hit my place. Because, like, before, I'd wear Sanji, I'd wear Brook around the floor, because I wanted to get people's attention. I wanted people to go, oh my god, it's Soul King Brook, I gotta get a picture of that, like, yes! And, like, I wasn't getting that as much, unfortunately, and, like, now I've matured a bit. I'm just like, that's fine, it's okay. Like, I don't have to get, like, at least 2 or 3 people coming up to me and freaking out because I'm a character they love. I am totally comfortable walking around in red and black with a dragon on my shoulder and a staff in my hand, and getting pictures and talking to cool people and just being at the con and not having to be some kind of center of attention. Because, trust me, there are people who work so much harder and deserve so much more attention than I ever will. Because I'm busy with my adult life stuff. And just... It's good. I want to say that I realized that for myself. And then, just a quick small thing for Doctor Who. I've noticed this year we didn't have as many classic Doctor Who cosplayers. We had, a couple of TARDISes, and we had the 7th Doctor, And then we had, you know, the rest of the modern, 9, 10, 11, 12, and definitely 13 with Jodie Whittaker. Which, I'm going to get Series 11, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to talk about it, because there are people who are just being asshats about the freaking season. And you know what, I'm just going to sell the debate myself, and figure it out. Because I haven't gotten to see it yet. But, like, one of the cool things I'd like to see in the future for Doctor Who shoots are, like, more companions at the shoots. Usually, you'll see, if you see companions, you'll see Rose, because she was with the 9th Doctor, and she went through 9 and 10. I don't think she interacted with 11, really. But, you know, she was definitely an important companion. You know, and going back to the classic era, we have, like, Jamie McCrimmon. Like, you know, the Scottish boy in the kilt who's just, you know, who's just so loyal to the 2nd Doctor. You know, and also, in the future, once I get farther along with the classic era, I myself wouldn't mind doing Lethbridge Stewart. Basically, a military man who works for units. You know, pretty much think of them as the European Men in Black. You know, they deal with the bump in the night, the crazy alien stuff that comes down to Earth. You know, I wouldn't mind being him at some shoots and, you know, dealing with the Doctor. Because I think there could be some good, like, you know, role-play interaction between, you know, the general who disappeared from the scene in, like, the 80s, you know, and the Doctor who's still around 2010 plus. You know, like, oh, no, excuse me, I'm looking for the Doctor. You know, and, like, I'm talking to a Jodie Whittaker cosplayer, and it's like, I'm the Doctor. It's like, oh, I see. Like, just funny stuff like that. So, like, I had fun, and I wouldn't mind seeing some more companions if possible. Like, I wouldn't, like, I think the turnout was a bit smaller for this year. I don't know why, but it's cool. And also, really quick, you know, shout-outs to the, you know, TARDIS cosplayers. You know, we had 2 ladies who were doing TARDIS, and that's cool. But, like, I also want to do my own TARDIS, the male version, because you don't see that as often. Like, come on, guys. Like, the ladies are stealing the TARDIS thing. Like, we can be the TARDIS, too. It's okay. So, yeah, I said I'm not going to be innovating as much cosplay-wise. And then I talk about Doctor Who, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be innovating, for sure. Like, it's just crazy and confusing, and just, I guess outside of Doctor Who, I may not be innovating as much, because, you know, I have a full-time job and adult stuff to do, and responsibilities and such. But, I don't know, just, I guess I'm more comfortable as a cosplayer, and I found who I want to be. This character, you know, the steampunk detective, whatever, who has a dragon on his shoulder. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it took me so long talking about everything, but, you know, I have thoughts and I have to get them out, and talking to this camera seems to work for me. So, yeah, if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns about, you know, Ohayocon or other cons that I may potentially go to, or you want to talk to me about getting, you know, photos at a convention, you know, hit me up in the comments on my Facebook, wherever, and we can figure things out, and, you know, maybe you can tag along on my crazy journeys, and I can be the investigator. You know, my version of a Time Lord. Shut up! But, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get to go to anime cons, meet your favorite actors, YouTubers, whatevers, get their autographs, get selfies with them, and just have an awesome, excellent, amazing time. And until next time, everyone, as always, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course remember, every character has a story to tell. I'm Valiant Bradley James, character investigator. Peace.